Morning, good morning. It's time to wake up. What's going on, guys? How we doing? This wonderful Monday. This wonderful Monday. I love Mondays, man. Mondays are just, to me, Mondays are a time to like kick ass, like a start over. I know a lot of people, I do like Mondays. I think Mondays are just such a great day to like get up off your ass and go kick some ass. I don't know. Whatever. My opinion. I'm wearing the mic, so my opinion is the one that matters. I'm just getting things kind of set up here. Let me get a few people tagged. So funny. Oh, you know what? It's always hard. Let's see. I don't know why I'm talking. I'm gonna have real conversations here. We got a minute. Oh. Yeah. Who's already saying good morning? It's Miss Lita. Good morning. You're here before I am. I feel like Michelle spells her name in a way that I can't spell because I can never find it. Anyway, just getting some hellos. Tagging some folks. Saying good morning. How are we? So, I mean, you're here this morning. I'm going to ask you to do something brave today and to just share this to your page. And all you have to do that, guys, all you have to do is just on the video where you're watching me, if there's light, you just click that share button. And when you click the share button, it's going to ask you share now, which is going to just share it straight to your feed. If you click share to feed, it's going to give the opportunity to type something out. You can share to your story, which is, if you do stories, you know what that is. So I say pick one of these two, right? Just share now. It's just going to boop. It's just going to share it. You don't have to type anything. If you want to spend time typing something, share to feed and then just type something. That's it. That's all. Let's get our little morning devotional. Let's get it out there. Let's get some more people in it. That's why I started doing it. Very self-centered reason. Number one, when I do my devotional live, it makes me do it. Number two, we're on day 67 of 100, which is pretty awesome. But number two, when I first started down my like Christ curious path, I didn't particularly feel comfortable in church. Now I want to argue with preachers. And I didn't like devotionals because they were very Jesus-y. And I was like, oh, this is just stupid. But now I don't feel that way. And I want to just kind of give an option of some Bibling that is like Decker language. Devotionals. That was a fun noise. Devotionals by Decker. That's what we got here. Devotionals by Decker. All right. So let me go ahead and get started. Hi, I'm Decker. So here's our devotional. 2 a.m. in Christ is a version by Lynn Woods. That's not an egg. It's supposed to be a sunshine. Maybe I am that looks just like sunshine to you, but for me, it's like it's an egg. Just appropriate because it's morning time. And the way a devotional works is that an author took time to put this all together. We've got a little piece of scripture. We're going to read it. Then we're going to read the devotionally part, followed by the reflection question, which is where you're going to journal. If you don't need the book, I'm going to read out loud. That would be weird if this was the whole video. Oh, that's really interesting, guys. Yeah. I don't agree with that one. That'd be weird. So I'm going to read this out loud to you. The only thing you need is a journal. And we actually journal once the video's over. You don't journal while we're doing it. And something to write with. So you just need something to write in and something to write with. all you really, truly need. And a Post-it works, but I recommend getting a journal. A journal, you probably have them laying around your house, first off. And you can pick them up at the dollar store. You get a spiral notebook, that counts. This just happened to be something that I just had laying around my house from an event I went to. So let's get started this morning with prayer. Tiny baby Jesus, thank you for another Monday. You know how I love Mondays. It's going to be a great day. Why? Because we're going to start this day off with you. Thank you for your word and allowing it to kind of penetrate into my life, and hopefully with a little bit of your help, it can radiate out of me, right? I don't want to just keep it to myself. I want to share as much as I possibly can. And thank you for giving me a loud voice and the ability to do that. Use me as a good little avatar today to bring you love and devotion, and who knows, maybe somebody that's on the fence will be like, I'll give it a try. In your name, amen. All right, let's get started. So today, guys, we are reading Colossians 1:13. So we're reading chapter 1, verse 13. For he has rescued us from the dominion of darkness and brought us into the kingdom of the Son he loves. Look, I wrote it wrong. Let me fix it. That bothers me. For he has rescued. It's important to fix that one. For he has rescued us from the dominion of darkness and brought us. Oh, I did. Man, y'all, I was in a hurry. Hold on, I'm going to fix it again. And brought us into the kingdom, not to the king. The kingdom. The kingdom. Okay, we'll do it one more time. Now it's on the screen. For he rescued us from the dominion of darkness and brought us into the kingdom of the Son he loves. It sounds like, okay, that sounds super churchy. That sounds super churchy. He brought us into the kingdom of the Son he loves. He rescued us from the dominion of darkness. Very pretty. Let's look at what the Message has to say. So the Message is just a different translation. That's all it is. It's not a big deal. It's just a different translation. It's different way to read different words that say the same thing. And we're going to go ahead and look at that. I like the Message translation because sometimes it's a little bit easier to understand. The Message translation kind of gives the gist of what's going on instead of word thought for thought translation. Because remember, the Bible wasn't written in English. It was written in a language nobody speaks. We used an already one-time translated, which Greek, that's the version that is used by all the smart, super scholarly people. Wasn't written in Greek either. That was a translation as well because the Jews didn't speak Greek. Okay, anyway. So the Message is you're getting a little bit further from the original translation, but you kind of get the gist of it. I like it. Usually in the Message, it's more than just the one verse you're reading. It's usually more verses. This one just happens to be 2, but it's good. Let's look at it. It says, God rescued us from dead-end alleys and dark dungeons. Okay? I get that visual. He sets up in the kingdom of the Son he loves so much. The Son who got out of the pit we were in, got rid of the sins we were doomed to keep repeating. So there's that comma that's real important. And this is one of those times where the verse is not a sentence. The verse is a partial sentence. Because even if we look at this in a different translation, there's the New American Standard Bible for you. There's still a comma. For he rescued us from the domain of darkness and transferred us into the kingdom of his beloved Son, comma. Let's go to 14. Oh, wait, sorry, we went to the wrong one. Please to hold. All right, so let's go down here. We're looking for 13. Okay, so here's what we just read. God rescued us from dead end alleys, dark dungeons. He set up in the kingdom of the Son he loved so much, the Son who got out of the pit we were in, got rid of the sins we were doomed to keep repeating. So because same words, translation. For he rescued us from the domain, I'm right here. For he rescued us of the domain of darkness and transferred us to the kingdom of his beloved Son, in whom we have redemption, the forgiveness of sins. I think it's important to have both of those together. For my brain, oh no. For my brain, it's important to have both of those together. I don't like one-liners, especially it's this, I put a period, it's a comma. It's so important to me to have that full, complete thought. For he rescued us from the domain of darkness. He rescued us from the dead-end alleys and the dark dungeons. He rescued us from those really bad places. And he transferred us to the kingdom of his beloved Son, in whom we have redemption and the forgiveness of sin. He let us go live in the kingdom of tiny baby Jesus, who died for our sins. Now, if you're a Christ-curious person, that's a weird concept. That's a weird concept for me to grasp. I had to understand the history of where that came from before I could like fully envelop it. Just know through Jesus and the repenting, it's all going to be good. Even your life here is going to be good. I know it's supposed to be about heaven, but even here, your life is going to be good. When you just like let all that shit go, fuck, life is so much better. Life is so much better. It takes a minute though, because you got to let other people get over the shit you did, and that eats at you. But I digress. Let's circle back to here today. Let's see what our devotional has. In 2009, an American soldier named Bowie Bergdahl vanished from his post in Afghanistan. The response of the military was immediate and overwhelming. Jets were scrambled, rescue teams were dispatched, every resource imaginable was utilized, and no expense was spared in the desperate attempt to find one missing soldier. In time, evidence showed that Bergdahl had deserted and had been captured by the Taliban. Though he was often confined to a cage in total darkness, the U.S. government worked tirelessly, offering ransoms and ultimately a prisoner swap to gain his release in 2014. What a powerful picture of the gospel. When humanity walked away from a God, he immediately launched an epic rescue plan, accumulating the sending of the Son he loves. The result? Because of his grace, we experience rescue when we believe. God saved us from being in the darkness and ruined by evil. We're now in the light and under the authority of God's beloved Son, Jesus. I'm sorry, y'all. That's a terrible analogy. We are on day 67, and I'm sure some days you kind of reach, right? I know. When you're like doing like over and over and over again, you're powering through things. Sometimes it's not your best work. Lynn, had a bad day. I don't see the connection between a soldier who deserted his post, captured by the Taliban, and then the U.S., 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, spent 5 years trying to find him, found him, made a swap. I don't see how that relates to. Okay, maybe. Right? Taliban be a bad place to be. You're in this tiny cage of total darkness. That's the only one little line they give us. I think if they had described more what that would be like. So let's go down that path. What would it be like to live in that place for such a long time? What would it be like to be, captured by the Taliban? Like, I don't even listen. American jail ain't fun. I got no desire to be there. Too pretty. But jail in another country and in jail by the Taliban, let me tell you what, Taliban hates Americans. They hate consumerism. A lot of the shit they hate about us, the things they say about us is true, but they hate us for it. The Taliban Muslims do not believe in Jesus Christ. They do not believe that he was the Messiah. They do not believe those things. They believe he was a prophet and a good guy. Do not believe he was the Messiah. And they despise the Taliban, despise Americans and the consumerism we live, and Christianity as a whole. Although I don't know that consumerism and Christianity blend well together, but whatever. So you're now being held captive in another country that absolutely hates you. And by the way, you are there to like take them down. So like, I'm not trying to defend them, but you're there to kind of kill them. Probably they're happy they living in just, I can't even imagine. I bet in your prison cell by the Taliban, I bet you don't get, a guaranteed hour of exercise like you do in American prisons. I bet you don't get 3 square meals a day. I feel like there's still probably prison rape, but I could be wrong. I mean, the Middle East is anti-gay, like fuck gay pride. Like there's just gay hide. Okay. So, but they might still have prison rape because, that's different. That's not actually about being gay. That's about power and control. So let's see. So then let's see. Probably don't have, like food options. You probably, if you're gluten intolerant, they probably don't care. I doubt there's TV, probably not a bed. I would imagine there's not a toilet. I've seen a lot of movies, so I feel like I'm an expert. So you probably really are living like in hell. So 5 years of hell. And then finally you get out. Go there. If I like really talk about that deep, dark, what it was probably like to be there, I think there was a missed opportunity. Then I could say, okay, a powerful picture of the gospel. So humanity walked away from God. He launched an epic rescue plan, culminating, I don't know. I'm going to go accumulating, but there's an L in the wrong place, so maybe I'm saying the word wrong. In sending the son he loves. Humanity is still a fucking hot mess and still walking away from God. Like, turn your ass around and head back to it, because fuck, it's only going to get worse. And if you don't have God to just lean into it and to be like, I'm good, I got God, it's going to suck really bad for you. We are so in the West, we are so connected to a lot of our possessions. I've said it before. I like indoor plumbing and AC. And if those things go away, I'm going to be quite miserable. And if I can't get right with God and be content with God and be happy with all that God has to offer me, I am going to be fucking miserable when inflation just keeps going up and gas is $10 a gallon. And the food that I eat, I can't even afford rice and beans. I eat a lot of rice and beans. I do eat meat though, but we eat a lot of rice and beans in my house. And when that shit starts to get crazy expensive, like if you can't be like Paul in prison and be content because you got everything you need, which is God, fucking we're gonna be miserable. You better get right with God. And when I say you, I mean me. All right, let's get into our devotional, the questioning part. Make a list of the things from which Christ has rescued you. Y'all, there's not enough pages left in my book. Hold on, where am I at? I mean, I got this much left. There's not enough pages right there. If I stick to the big ones, if I stick to the big things that Christ has saved me from, if I stick to the big things that Christ has saved me from, constantly being angry, constantly feeling inadequate, like I wasn't good enough, constantly worried about what people think about me. Those are my major things. I never had anything super fun like a major drug addiction or like an alcohol. I had like I'm not sober. I'm not drunk right now, but if you know anybody who's ever an alcoholic or a drug addict, they'll be like, I'm 1 year sober or whatever. Like they don't touch this stuff anymore. I'm not that person. I never needed that. I mean, I was a shitty ass parent, and I do believe that I'm a much better parent now than I was then. I hope that I'm a way better grandparent. I don't know if that's just the difference between being grandma and being mom, but I think for me, I feel like it is recognizing, like, let me try again. You know, I'm not raising my grandchildren, so somewhere I did something right. Because if you don't do something right, you end up raising your grandchildren. I would love extended visitation with my grandchildren because that's self-serving and I just want to like spend more time with them. But my children love them so much and they're such amazing parents that they're like, no, mom, I don't need you for like 2 weeks. Whatever, go be a good parent, love your child, be responsible. But there's so many things. If I make my list, I think I would say I would add to then making a list of the things that Christ rescued and like how that changed. That's how I would kind of like edit that question. What's a list of the things that Christ has rescued you from, and like how does that affect you? What has God taken you away from, and now how has it changed? For me, a big thing was really things. Sometimes things aren't going the way that you want them to go. Your relationship isn't the relationship you thought it was. Your job isn't the job you thought it was. Your kids aren't the kids you thought they were. Not my relationship turned into something I didn't want, but my relationship really isn't what I thought it was. I had blinders on when I got into the relationship. My job isn't really what I thought my job was. I had blinders on when I got the job. This isn't how it was presented to me on paper. And for me in those situations, I just would instead of just bitching and complaining all the time about it, which I still do bitch a lot, asking God, okay, like I got to find the positives in what I have right now because this is the choice I made and this is where I am. This is where I think you wanted me to be. Help me focus on the great instead of the bad parts of this. If this is where I need to be, I need to find the good parts of it. If it's not where I need to be, I'll need the good parts. I need an exit plan. And just focusing on the good parts make the shitty situation better at first. And then down the road, longer, content and happy with it. Like Paul sitting in prison. I'm good. I'm really good. We have a thing where content, not contempt. Content is almost like a bad thing. Like if we're not just like super fucking happy about something, then we must be miserable about it instead of just existing. There's somewhere between shame and pride. I'm really, really ashamed of this thing that I did. I'm really, really proud of this thing I did. Somewhere in between there is just like it happened. I'm really, really ashamed of a thing I did. Same thing. Say rob a bank. I'm really, really ashamed that I robbed a bank. I don't think in this day and age people robbing banks. I'm really, really ashamed of robbing the bank. I can't believe I would rob the bank and all the people that it would hurt. And you have a lot of shame built into it. Versus the gangsters. John Dillinger, right? Those gangsters. I rob banks. Good at it. I could get it done in whatever 1.2 minutes and before the police come. And I'm good at what I do. And I never hurt the people in the bank, but I use them as human body armor so the cops don't shoot me, but I'll shoot the cops if they come. I'm really good at it. Look at all the wins I have for it, right? Somewhere in between the shame of it and the pride of it. So when you're living in that sin, there's all this pride about the shit that you can do. And then at some point you start to feel bad for it. So now you have the shame of it. And somewhere in between there is just, it happened. It's just the fact. This is what happened. I robbed banks. I'm not proud of it. I'm not ashamed of it. I don't do it now. I can't change I did it in the past. I'm just going to move on. That's why I have to only deal in cash because I'm on the bank's blacklist. I'm never going to be able to use a bank again. Like my face is like she'll recognize no matter what I do and the door's just locked. I'm not even allowed in the building. Right? Like whatever. Exaggerating. And so we all have that I'm ashamed, I'm proud, I just want to exist. I just want to be normal. I think sometimes when to do and we have those conversations with God and we lean into God and we allow Jesus to pull us through, we exist and we're happy. Like it's I'm okay with it. So if I'm in a relationship or a job, and I was here, I was so excited. I got this new job. I got this great promotion. I had a great boss, whatever it is. It's a job that's going to send me down the path to get to that next level job. It's whatever. I'm up here. I'm super stoked about it. And then after I'm there for a while, I realized, oh, damn it. It sucks. It is nothing like I thought it was. The boss that hired me, he was on his way out. The boss I have now is a fucking moron. The work that they're telling me to do is not the work that I was told I was going to do. Everything is terrible. And I'm focusing on this terribleness because I wanted this up here. Same thing is true in the relationship. You meet the relationship, everything's up here. It's perfect. It's new. It's fresh. It's exciting. You're just like all into it all the time. It's 24/7. You think it's going to be the 6 months in, a year in, maybe you get married or you get that 7-year itch, whatever it is. And you're down here. Why the fuck am I married to this person? This person is not who I thought this person is going to be. This person let themselves go. Bitch, don't let yourself go. This person let themselves go. This person is not the person that I married. The fun and exciting things that we used to do, we don't do them anymore. We never go out to eat dinner. Like we do nothing. He, she can't do anything around the house. I have to do it all. You're just down here. You're not up here anymore. You're way down here. And I think by reaching out and talking to Jesus, hey, God, I need some help. I think what can happen is you're not going to reach this, oh my God, I got a new job. It's so exciting. Best boss. Oh my God, it's the cutest person I ever dated in my life. You might not ever get back to that, but you're going to get to this place here where like, it's okay. It's good. It's fine. I'm content. I'm happy in my contentment. I really don't want this up here. That's a lot of work. I don't know that I want to be that excited all the time, every day about something. I definitely don't want to be down here. I for sure don't want to be down here. But being up here, it's unrealistic. And you realize that it's unrealistic. And it's not a sad realization. You're happy here. Look at everything that my job provides me with, and you have a big list. Look at everything that my relationship provides me with, and you have a big list. And you focus on all those positive things, and you're like, you know what? Like this is good. That's how I feel about making a list of the things that Christ rescued you from. How I was down here and God brought me up here to this place where I'm content and happy. I'm not soaring up here with eagles. I'm content and I'm happy. I think having a two-part. The list that he rescued you from, and how is your life so much better now? Focus on those positive things. That's what I got for today. That's what I'm going to do. So the way that it works, guys, you get out your blank page. You write the date. I'll use red today. And our date's 5:30. And we read Colossians 1:13. Now, if you want to write out the actual passage, you want to leave a space for it. If you want to write out the passage, you leave a space for it. And then we just make a list. That's not really a question. Of the things of which Christ has rescued you. Okay, so you've got that. Boom. And then you're just going to spend that time down here writing it out. So I've started doing something just a little bit different than that because I know you'll see my journal doesn't have the words in it. And so what I do is actually just take my Bible and actually have my journal papers here, and I do all my journaling, and then I just attach them into the Bible where that passage is. That's what I do. You don't have to do that. This is a great way to do it. This is, 6 or 7 years of journaling was here, and I decided to do something a little different. That's all. But this is a great place to journal. And you have it in here. And what's great is when you write the date, you just keep everything together. Boom. And this is how this would just get put away when I'm done. right? We're at 67 days. We got another month or so to go. And when I'm done, then it's really cool is because when I go through here and I just open up whatever the day, and I'm like, oh, the end of what month are we in? May in 2022, I read Colossians 1:13. I can open up my Bible and I can read Colossians 1:13, and I can be like, what was the question? Make a list of the things tiny baby Jesus rescued you from. That's a weird thing. And I could open up to that in here, and I could be like, oh, there it is right there. Boom. And I could reread the devotional part if I wanted to. So it's a really cool thing to have one journal for whatever devotional you're working on, and to keep them all together. So that's what I got for you guys. Let's do a little prayer on the way out. Len wrote us a prayer, so let's say his prayer and let's head out for the day and go kick some Monday's ass. God, thank you for sparing no expense to search for me and to rescue me. Amen. All right, guys, have a fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow.